Do you wake up tired even if you've gotten 8 hours of sleep? My guess is yes. My main priority always used to be how many hours I slept during the night, but never had I thought that the actual biggest game changer would be to wake up at the same exact time every single day. In this video, I'll share hopefully valuable information about the circadian rhythm, sleep, habits, and my habit tracker. Surely you know what sleep is, but what is the circadian rhythm? A natural cycle of physical, mental, and behavior changes that the body goes through in a 24-hour cycle. I would simply say it's what influences the difficulty or easiness of waking up and falling asleep process, along with how our energy fluctuates throughout the day and also our thinking and mental clarity. I have realized that I'm a morning person because I can be so productive in the morning. There are no distractions, only me and my thoughts. The only app notifications I have on are messages. Other than that, notifications truly annoy me. I've always just been alert to use my phone more often, and I already use my phone a lot, so that was a real issue. Lately, I have become quite detached from my phone as the consequence to the 30-day no social media challenge. And in result, I have become more productive. I've made it a priority to be in bed by 9 p.m. and to not use my phone a while before that. Then I wake up at 6 a.m. I get up, my phone is like 2 meters from my bed, only check my messages to see if there's anything important worth replying to. Then I leave my phone there and head to do my skincare, which has become the absolute favorite part of my morning routine. And after I'm back, it is yoga, then work or reading or studying, depending on the day. Taking that digital break to get re-inspired for the winter art had been a huge help. And a big part of my productivity is the role that my habit tracker plays, but we'll talk about that more later on in the video. You wake up, you get up. You are not tired. That is the amazing part of having a circadian rhythm. You have a plan, to-dos to get to, and you are completely awake, alert, and ready for the to-dos. In just 6 days, I managed to feel the difference, and I even started waking up before my alarm. I will have to be honest, it is right now Christmas, and it has been a while since I had a circadian rhythm, because obviously the holidays happened, but if you can manage to stick to the same wake up time, going to sleep time, then that is basically how you're going to build your circadian rhythm. Now, let me share some facts, tips to achieve this beautiful routine. Disruptions from factors like irregular schedule, travel, shift work, screen time, or underlying health issues can throw off your internal clock and negatively impact sleep and overall well-being. Takeaway: do not travel, work, and use your phone. Just kidding, but you got the point. If you cannot control those factors, you might not be able to build a healthy circadian rhythm. I discovered that the real alarm clock is the sun. Unfortunately, the sun and I weren't on speaking terms thanks to Latvian winters, but obviously you do have the light. So whenever you wake up, make sure to turn on the light. I just have my alarm ringing and then I say, Alexa, turn on the light. And then it kind of awakes me and I get up and turn the alarm off. Speaking of alarms, does not work. I just say, stop and go back to sleep. What I found out is much better is charging your phone across the room and obviously having to get up to turn it off. And an extra bonus is when the alarm is set to a very motivational speech or your favorite song. Then you either get a motivation kicker or you get a dance break. This is my motivational speech I listen to in the morning.
Good morning, you stunning stack of sunshine. Rise and grind.
So how I set my alarms, that is crucial information. Yes, I do set two. The first alarm is the one that you can set up in the sleep wake schedule there in the alarm app, and then you select the alarm option and turn the volume to the middle, quite low, and I choose the most peaceful, calming sound to not startle me awake, because that has happened and I'm telling you, it is not a pleasant experience. After that, the alarm rings at exactly 6 a.m. and I don't get up sometimes because it doesn't bother me. Then this is where the second alarm comes in at 6:02 a.m. Yes, that alarm is the motivational speech. If anyone needs it, I added a link to the TikTok sound in the description of this video. Having a solid bedtime routine is apparently a tremendous help because doom scrolling is not a wind down. Yeah, I'm sure we all at one point thought that scrolling before bed is what's going to make us more tired and actually being able to fall asleep. But that's actually doing the exact opposite. It's keeping your brain awake longer, and it's doing this. It's activating stress pathways instead of winding them down. How to set a solid bedtime routine. That's the next video you need to watch if that's what you struggle with. Of course, I'm going to share mine. At 7 p.m., my phone screen turns red. it's really easy to set up. I stop all work studying at around 8. Then I pack my bag or prepare my outfit, maybe have a little snack, fruit, some tea. Then it is time for the bathroom routine. Shower, skincare, teeth, and then hair. Phone on the charger, doing my Duolingo, making sure the alarm is set, because always. And then afterwards, I'm in bed, I journal in 2 journals, and then it's definitely past 9 p.m. and then it is sleep. Red light is actual key. Obviously, the red light on the phone, red light as in this lamp, and if I'm working on the laptop or doing something on my phone, then I always make sure to wear my blue light glasses. I've also noticed that when I spend the morning by myself at peace and quiet, I find myself more willing to communicate with people, which is so unlike my usual introverted self. I think this definitely has to be a permanent change. Unfortunately, not for the holidays. But the most practical thing I've learned is that circadian rhythm and sleep is so crucial to your growth. It's why successful people wake up early and consistently every single day, because they have realized that to fulfill their potential, they need the energy, and so it is crucial to have a solid bedtime routine and no distractions. Now, I'm not saying that you also need to wake up at 4 a.m. like The Rock, but circadian rhythm, even if you are a night owl, is so crucial. Oh, if it isn't my favorite topic to talk about, my dear best friend, habit tracker. But what is a habit actually? A usual way of behaving. As previously mentioned, my habit tracker has been a huge help with improving my productivity and making sure I get stuff done. The way I come up with the habits is throughout the month, while I'm completing the old habits, I take notes and find what works and what doesn't. This in bed before 9 p.m. habit actually started off as get 8.5 hours of sleep per night, which is a terrible way to measure a habit because how would I know how much sleep do I actually get? So that was a really easy loophole I could find to just check off that box. A key thing you have to do when you're keeping a habit tracker is to analyze and rewrite your habits each month so that you progress and move forward. And did you know that check marks trigger dopamine rewards that reinforce habit loops and boost consistency, which is probably the reason why I'm always so eager to check my habit tracker at the end of the night and check off all those boxes. Another advantage is you get to see how does sleeping less affect the rest of the habits and their completion. What effect does going out, working later have? Can't forget about traveling. But a downside to that is when I do notice these changes, it makes me want to do it less, especially the going out part. Socializing is necessary, especially as an introvert, and taking a break from all of this hustle culture and grind mindset is highly necessary. Another bonus a habit tracker can help you with is being consistent when working towards a bigger goal. If you do not track your habits, you don't really have a visual representation reminder that you are moving forward. So when you choose to set a bigger goal like hitting 1,000 subscribers, you don't really see it happening. You don't see your efforts being rewarded, and that is where a habit tracker can come in really handy. You have the habit, get some content work done, checked off the box, you know you are moving towards that bigger goal. My focus this year is going to be consistency and discipline. What is the best consistency discipline tracker? It's called a habit tracker. Time for some tips, ain't it? When writing out your habits, never set more than 5 habits. Meanwhile, here I am with my 10 habits. Don't worry, these habits do not overwork me, and I do them daily anyways, but actually do not set too many new habits to the point where you want to go sleep after work, but then you realize I still have 8 habits left to complete. There's no way I can be able to go to sleep now. That will completely discourage you from wanting to do something on your habit tracker. Keep your habits simple. Make them work together with each other. For you, not against. For example, 3 habits I have got. Be in bed before 9 p.m. Wake up before 7 a.m. and get up within 5 minutes of the first alarm. Do they work together? Absolutely. If I'm in bed before 9 p.m., it's pretty much almost guaranteed I will be waking up before 7 a.m. and since I have gotten enough sleep, I will be energized enough to get up 5 minutes within the first alarm. Number 3, if a habit isn't something you do every single day, then I would recommend putting it at the top or bottom of your habit list. That way you avoid having too many empty spaces in the middle of your habit tracker. Number 4, make your habits smaller, easier to do. Instead of go on a run for 5 kilometers, put on your running shoes. Put that instead. That's actually something I read in the book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you haven't read it, I do recommend, since it is my second time reading this book right now. Take notes while reading or watching anything self-help related. That way all the key information is noted somewhere down, wherever you feel like that spike of motivation to make your life better, easy to find. Trust me, you don't want to forget all of this information because that is literally just time wasted. Obviously, here's my notepad and my pen. Number 5, when it comes to habit tracking, you might want to count your streak. how many days was your longest streak that month. And while it can only just be like for fun, it can become genuinely disencouraging. Instead, I recommend after each month, count how many days out of 31, that being December, you did that habit, and you will set one number higher the next month. For example, last month, November, I went to sleep 3 times before 9 p.m. This month, I already hit 5 days. I was really motivated. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. Author James Clear. And number 6, this might be a little bit unrelated, but since you're watching this in the new year, make sure you have a vision board. That the universe knows what you are looking for, what you want, and that you know what you're asking for. Probably the most important takeaway from this, ask yourself one question. If you were able to reach your potential and live the life you wanted a year from today, if you started today, would you not want to start now? And all you had to do to get there? Show up daily, rely on discipline, not motivation, and be consistent. Would you not start today? Final words, fulfill your potential and start today.